Is the new update finally usable? We're looking at a trending discussion on Reddit right now claiming that macOS 26.2 is, quote, much faster now. But as we dig deeper into the comments, it turns out speed isn't the only thing heating up. From melting keyboards to a design language that half the community seems to hate, here's what real users are saying about the latest update. Let's start with the good news, because the original poster kicked this off with a pretty bold claim. They're reporting that 26.2 feels significantly snappier compared to the previous 26.1 build. And they aren't alone. We're seeing reports from users on everything from the latest M4 MacBooks all the way back to the M1 chips. The consensus? The UI log seems to be gone. One user specifically mentioned that the system feels more responsive and that the stuttering we saw in the last version has been smoothed out. If you've been holding off on updating because you were afraid of slowing down your machine, this might be the green light you were waiting for. But speed isn't everything. If you check the comments, there is a massive war brewing over the new design language Apple is pushing, dubbed liquid glass. This is where the thread gets spicy. A lot of users are absolutely tearing into the aesthetic. We've got people comparing the transparent windows and shiny textures to Windows Vista, and they don't mean that as a compliment. One user pointed out a serious accessibility flaw. The transparency is so aggressive that it's hard to tell which window is active and which is in the background. Another complaint highlights the massive padding and wasted screen real estate with floating sidebars that eat up space on smaller 14-inch screens. The sentiment here is clear. The engine under the hood is faster, but a lot of people hate the paint job. Some are even saying they're skipping Tahoe entirely and waiting for macOS 27. Now, before you hit that update button, you need to hear about the heat check. Several users in the thread, specifically those with M4 machines, reported a scary experience immediately after installing 26.2. We're talking about processes spiking to 100% CPU usage and keyboards getting uncomfortably warm to the touch. The good news, it seems to be a temporary first-run glitch. Users found that force quitting the rogue processes or simply waiting for the background indexing to cool things down. But be warned, if your fans start screaming the moment you reboot, you aren't the only one. Chrome users in particular are still reporting that the browser isn't acting right, so keep an eye on your battery life. So what's the Redditor consensus? If you can stomach the liquid glass look, or if you've already made peace with it, macOS 26.2 is undeniably a performance upgrade. The stutter is gone and older Apple Silicon chips are breathing easier. But if you rely heavily on Chrome or you're a stickler for UI contrast, you might want to wait for the 0.3 patch or see if Apple dials back the transparency in the next beta. Are you seeing the speed boost, or is your laptop trying to melt a hole in your desk? Let me know in the comments below.